I'm trying to remove the idea of having to work hard for something for it to be valid and valuable. For me, tattoos and piercings, that is tied to freedom, that is tied to independence. Beauty, that's magic. That's magic. That's magic. This will act, this life update. Life update. Life update. Cut my hair again. I felt like it was time. I wasn't really ready to grow my hair out completely. I was growing my hair out for the past, let's say the top of this year. I stopped cutting it because I was wearing braids and twists and stuff like that. But the last braided hairstyle, as I was taking it down, I was like, do I even want my hair to be longer? Really? Because it's kind of been growing for long enough. Do I really want to grow my hair out and do I want a fro right now? Do I want my natural hair right now? Do I want to start back locks? And then I'm like, actually, I didn't have my hair long. I didn't have my hair cut long enough. I am not done with that era. So I was like, let's cut it off. Cut it off. Here we are. I've been brushing it to get waves. I don't know how successful I've been, but I'm also not too committed to it right now. Like, I haven't put that much effort into it. Cut my hair. Got a new tattoo. And tattoos for me, they really exist as the idea of taking agency, taking control over your body. For me, it's like my identity is tied to any type of body modification because it feels like I'm asserting my agency over myself. So any piercings, even my nails, this is a nail check. I do gel X, so I'll do my own nails, or I have been doing my own nails. This is a cat eye. Cat eye is a little challenge for me, but I mean, I think it turned out pretty good. So even having my nails long, having my hair short, when I bleach it and dye it, when I have tattoos, all of this is just claiming agency and identity over my person, how I exist in the world, and how I want to show up, how I want to express that outwardly. So this tattoo, I also feel like they are spiritual amplifiers, because I wouldn't say you need anything external for you to have a strong type of spiritual influence, but they're all tools. And I find that tattoos can also work as tools as well to amplify something that maybe you want to further embody. So I have symbols for universe, God, energy, and I am something that really resonates with me is that the idea that everything is one. We're all one. We are all parts of a moving system, a moving organism, the universe. We are all participants in it. And when I think about the idea of God, it's like we are all extensions of it. We're not separate. We're not something removed from it. We can't be detached because we are made of everything that God is. So everything that exists as a part of us and also the world is all a part of the idea of God. And I feel like the idea of God is simply a concept that cannot be conceived or completely understood by our human minds and brains through language. It's something that has to be felt. So when I think about the idea of God, the idea of energy, we know that energy cannot be destroyed nor created. It's just, it transforms, right? So with this like tattoo, it's me. I feel like tattoos are just a further commitment to however you feel at that time. So for me to get this on my shoulder, every time I look in the mirror, I'm kind of seeing this to a certain extent, unless it's covered up with like my shirt or something like that. I kind of see it often. It almost will serve as a reminder of that idea of God, oneness, energy. How do I want to, as I present myself to the world, as I show up to the world, what do I want to align myself with? What do I want to amplify? And what do I want to embody? So there's that. So tattoo, jewelry, my nose, my septum. I got this gold septum off of Etsy. And glasses, I think these glasses are new. And I feel like for me, beauty Beauty, that's magic. That's magic. That's magic. When you're adding anything on top of yourself and you're changing it in some capacity, that's magic, because you're altering the idea of altering something with intention. For me, these beauty rituals, this tattoo, blood is blood magic, because you're scarring yourself to a certain extent to embed symbols, imagery, words, whatever it is. You feel so strongly to that you're embedded it in your skin. It is now a part of you. With piercings, you're piercing your skin. Again, anything that has some type of element of pain to it, it's like, why are you deciding to do that? Why are you putting yourself through pain for this outcome? I think that it's a lot of times about intention. So if you don't feel that it resonates with you spiritually, then of course that's your experience. But for me, I think amplifying my beauty through my standards, because I wouldn't say that tattoos and piercings and having all your hair cut off, I wouldn't say that's a part of the larger beauty standard that we consider like in the Western world. But for me, if I consider that to have ties to beauty, then that's me amplifying my self-identity through my understanding of what I find beautiful and unique and aesthetically pleasing. So as I strengthen my person with my idea of beauty, it's amplifying my personal power, because I'm aligning with what I feel like I can really appreciate in like an image or in a style. If I align myself with that, if I align myself with things that I like, I feel like anytime you like something, anytime you're drawn to something, it's for a reason, and you determine whether it's healthy or unhealthy depending on what it is. For me, I think a lot of things that I'm attracted to is saying something about what I feel like I need deep down inside. What do I feel like I need? For me, tattoos and piercings, that is tied to freedom, that is tied to independence, that is tied to self-expression. So when I think the idea of getting these things, for me, is like I want to embody that feeling of freedom, that feeling of individuality, of independence, and that's strengthening my ties to those things. And that's, for me, that's with everything. Lately, I've been reading Women Who Run with the Wolves. Reading this book for the entirety of this year. I've been going through it pretty slowly. I feel like this is a book that you need to process, you need to take your time with, and allow it to marinate, allow it to simmer. I'm like halfway through, and I think I have been reading other books while reading this one. This one is one that is going to, I think, stick with me for a while, because I already reference it and I'm not even halfway done. I think the idea of cycles, the idea of embodying a wilder nature and allowing that to strengthen your intuition, your inner knowing, it is doing something for me that is deepening the understanding that I have for things that I've been through, things that I already think, and maybe the way that I want to embody my own type of magic. And for me, the idea of magic is you moving with intention with the tools of speaking or writing or combining things together to achieve a desired outcome. And I feel like that can look different. It can be and feel different for different people. And I think with the different things I'm reading, this book included, is just empowering. It's causing me to feel empowered with my own way of doing things. Understanding that you don't have to always go off of other people's success to reach your destination. You can create something out of thin air for yourself. And if it works, if it resonates, then it's made for you. I feel like a lot of things that I do, it can be inspired by something else, but it always leads back to me. And when I always put my spin on things, that makes it more understandable for me, more easier for me to do. It means that I'm on the right track. For me, things are better when it's easier, when I'm not working against myself. Sometimes you may need hard work, because that's going to make you feel like it's worth it in the end. If you worked hard for it, that means it's valuable. For me, when I could feel satisfied about something, no matter if I worked strenuously or if it flowed like water. If I feel satisfied with the end result, that's good. I appreciate that. I'm happy with that. I don't have to, I'm trying to remove the idea of having to work hard for something for it to be valid and valuable. If it took me a hard time to write this poem, that means at the end it is really good. Actually, for me, when I work hard for something, at the end it turns out really stiff. If that's a painting, if that's a writing, if that's an outfit, if that's a hairstyle. Typically when I work really hard for something, after I look at it, I'm like, did I have to work this hard for this? Because I've done things easier and it came out better and they looked more fluid and electrifying. So when I understand what works best for me, what resonates harder for me, outside of it works for everybody else, that's my personal magic, if I want to think about it in that type of way. I also picked up The Power of Now. I picked this book back up, and this book I'm halfway through. But The Power of Now, I feel like this book is so helpful with the idea of being present. And if we think about the only thing we ever experience is this now moment, everything else is a mental experience. The past is you recollecting how you felt, you're recollecting the last time you remember that event happening, and you're not there right now. You can feel like you're there because your body will start to respond to whatever memory you give it, whether it tenses up or it relaxes. Your body can feel the emotion of your thoughts, but that's all it is thoughts of the past. And the future is just an imagination. It's a projection of maybe what you've been through so far, maybe what you want to experience. But again, you are not in the future right now. You are in the present moment. That's all that exists. And it's all you should be worried about when it comes to things like stress and embodiment, and with your relationships when you interact with somebody else. Are you reacting to the past versions of other people that remind you of them, or are you able to react to how they are presenting themselves to you at this moment in time? For me, that's helpful because it allows me to enter interactions with a blank slate, and I can feel much more balanced and not so maybe suspicious or so hopeful with a projection that's not currently in front of me. So I've been reading Power of Now, I've been reading Woman Who Run with the Wolves, and recently I gave myself a tarot reading for the month of November. This is a habit that I've been doing with my sisters. Every start of the month, we'll get together and we'll all do our monthly reading in a little circle. We'll pull cards and help each other decipher what the cards mean. I feel like whenever we do these group sessions, I don't know if my readings always get personal. I don't know if they always get attention put on them like other people. So this time I was like, let me really lock in and do it with the comfort of myself so I can pay attention to everything being presented. The cards that stuck out to me the most is the Empress. This was an answer to the question of who am I currently? And the Empress came out. And I don't know if I would have chose this card for myself because I feel like the Empress is a card that embodies the full divine feminine. She's in receiving, she's in luxury, she's in nature, she's in a relaxed position. And she's the idea, if you want to think about like a perfect type of woman, it's like that Empress might come up. It'll be in the realm of those things. And I feel like for me, I wrote my entry about it, so I was reflecting on it further. My immediate thoughts is that the Empress is the ultimate divine feminine, luxury, ease, comfort, and beauty. She's strong, stable, and soft in her power. And I don't know if I would have chose this card for myself, as the Empress is so well-rounded in everything and perfect. I feel like there is always more for me to do. And as I reflected on the past month or past several weeks even, as I got this card, I tried to see, did I feel like it applied? And I was like, well, if I sit back and think about the things I've done, then yes. I've been meditating more consistently. I've been eating more energizingly with fruits, vegetables, grains, stuff like that. I've been trying to lessen fast or fried foods because I love a good chicken strip. I'm so sorry, I do. But I've been trying to lessen eating that. Even though I don't know if I feel like I eat it so much. When you're unconsciously doing stuff, you always do more of the thing that you thought you wasn't doing that much of. So if I feel like I wasn't even eating that many chicken strips, well, you probably was eating more than you thought you were, even if it wasn't a lot by whose standards, I don't know. So as I thought back on my last few weeks, I was like, well, maybe I am embodying that. I have been more intentional about listening to myself when it comes to, again, my beauty standards of maybe cutting my hair and doing my nails. And what does that mean for me? But with that being said, for this card to come out, it feels like confirmation that I'm doing even better than I imagined. The habits that I'm implementing are having a great impact. The Empress is relaxed, trusting that her passion and creativity produces a powerful magnetism that or attracts to her everything she desires. Continue to practice the habits of self-love and pour energy and attentions into my creativity. Bring divine love into my spiritual practice. Now, when we get to the advice for the month, that's when we get to the High Priestess. And I feel like this is not a card that I'm unfamiliar with. This is a card that comes up in readings a good amount for me. And I feel like the High Priestess, we're always going to think about intuition. We're always going to think about inner, deeper knowing, esoteric, spiritual knowledge, right? We're going to think about maybe duality. We see the black and white pillars, the balance. We see the moon, so we know it's like inner shadow work. But then we see her with this scroll that's hidden. So it's knowledge that's not obviously seen and expressed, right? It's magic, it's intuition, it's inner knowing, and it's confidence in that because you know what you need to know. Let's see what I wrote about this card. My immediate thoughts. My spiritual habits are even more impactful than I know or realize. They are actually undeniably powerful. With that being said, I do have visible active proof of some of my little things, my intentions having an impact. And I think sometimes if you do anything like affirmations and you do feel result of that, was that because I did affirmations? Was that because I lit this candle? And if you want to write it off as a coincidence, then that's going to lessen the strength of your self-belief. But if you understand, I think that is because I did what I did. I think it's tied. That's when you lessen all self-doubt and you really feel empowered in moving forward with your own understanding. So for me, self-doubt is something that is only an obstacle in my experience. It's not helpful to me, but it's something that I keep returning to. I gotta stop. And I feel like the High Priestess is a reminder of the advice is that what you need to do to move forward in your intuition and even your asking of certain questions. You know the answer, but you have to let yourself trust that the answer can come from inside of you and be valid. You don't need the validation from anything outside, whether it's people. You don't need the validation from other people. The validation and understanding from yourself is truly enough. And I think for me, when we think about any type of magic or intuition, we do want to share with other people because we want it to be affirmed in that way of, look what happened. Look what I predicted. And then we want them to say, wow, you're so powerful. And then it's like, well, I guess it wasn't a coincidence. I really am powerful. It's like, well, no, you don't need that. The more you think you need that, the more it lessens your trust. Intuition is also all about trust. It's all about feeling and being in a body. But if you need to get external validation every time you feel that you know something, then that's slowing it down. That's providing unnecessary drag. So I have enough awareness to know what's good for me. My magic is good for me. My hope and faith and love for my hobbies are all good for me. What I am drawn to is taking me gently where I want and where I need to be. What I'm drawn to is specific and good, and there is something in me that knows without being taught, something that remembers with subtle reminders. This month is about strengthening that self-trust. It's about continuing to embody the Empress and to understand that I know enough to move forward. There has been, in the past few years, I feel like that's been an obstacle for me, feeling like I need to know every single thing before I get started. And it's like, girl, that ain't never, in your history of stuff having worked out for you, that ain't never been a part of the equation. You ain't never needed to know how everything was going to play out before you got started for it to be successful. So why are we suddenly putting that in the mix now? That's not needed. It ain't never been needed. So remembering it's okay for me to just start and learn along the way is something that I feel like the High Priestess, the Empress, that's reminding me. So that is that. And I'm really excited to finish reading The Women Who Roamed the Wolves because I just got this book, When God Was a Woman, and I'm really excited to read this because I'm really interested into how do women tie into spirituality and religion without being demonized, and what did that look like? How can I learn more? So Women Who Roamed the Wolves was my entry into it, and then When God Was a Woman is me going further down that path. And I also have a few other books that I'm just trying to read it one at a time so I know where I'm getting information and it's not too mixed up. But I am excited to read these texts because I feel like it's if anything, teaching me more about myself and my understanding of the world. All the information that you read, that you take in, is providing little dots that you can then later connect if you wish to. So these are some of the dots I'm working with right now, and I'm excited to continue this journey of knowledge. That being said, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.